Yep, I called it. I called it. I throw a lot of what some people might call insults, but I call educated predictions. Almost like it seems so obvious. So, like, one of the first couple of videos I made on my channel was talking about how, like, people specifically from the Middle East, Pakistan, Punjab, like, when they get their hands on, like, the internet and then they start jerking off to porn, like, it's not a good, like, there's no, like, cushion or, like, comfort for them. Like, they have to, like, deal with the harsh reality that they are on the outside looking at people who are living their lives on the inside, like, if anything, it's like watching ants look at human beings inside of, like, their own enclosure. Like, it's like the reverse, if you will, if you ever had, like, an ant farm or whatever. I'm actually trying to see, like, dude, I made, like, a lot of videos. Okay, so here we go. uh we have, yeah, I think it's within, like, the first week. um well, what would I even call it, right? Well, whatever. I know I made that video. So I basically spoke at length about how what happens when, like, these guys, they can't, live out their sexual urges, homosexual or otherwise, and, like, they, snap at people, they attack them, and, like, we're seeing, like, a lot of this, like, both air quotes heterosexual men and, like, these self-proclaimed trans people, trans men, sometimes women. They are acting out, and they are, like, bloodthirsty, foaming at the mouth for kids, for little kids, for, Christian, people who vote for Donald Trump type of kids. And, like, this is, like, the most hilarious thing ever because Hassan, yo, dog, what's your favorite flag again? Wasn't it holding up an AK-47? Wasn't it that rainbow one, right? Yeah, the rainbow one with the little triangle for, like, the brown and the black people and the trans people. Yeah, that flag. Yeah, dog. Like, this is how your peoples are, man. Like, yo, can you imagine? You get what you want, like, you win this, like, conflict, hypothetically speaking, right? And instead of, like, winning the day, you guys have, like, a victory parade. Except it's just like the pride parade. Except it never stops. A non-stop pride parade running through the streets. It's like, yo, the Muslims can't pray in the streets. There's, like, a pride parade, and, like, some of the Muslims are, like, practicing apostasy and shit, and they have to become the Bachi boys. Like, these guys who dress up as girls to, like, satiate the horniness of the Afghan men and the Arab men and the Pakistani men, the Punjabi, the Sikh men. Like, all these guys are, like, trying so desperately to, like, live in this world. Like, yo, come after the white girls, come after white women, running them over, stalking them, harassing them. Like, I didn't actually point this out, but I, after rewatching the video, because it was, like, hard for me to watch. It's hard for me to watch these fucking things where you see, like, two little girls basically being surrounded and harassed. And I gotta emphasize the surrounded part. So, like, if people think it's, like, just one guy filming her and stuff, it's a bunch of guys, and you can hear them, and you can actually see them out of frame and stuff. They're like, yeah, show the knife, show the knife. Like, dog, I would kill the police officers before they touch my kid or my sister or whatever. I would kill them. Kill. You know what I mean? Like, why would it come to this? And I checked the legality of owning pepper spray or bear mace or whatever in the United Kingdom. No. So it's basically an open season on your kids. Like, you have no ability to protect their rights. It's their word against, the word of, like, the noble, never would rape a girl migrant, never would rape a girl Sikh or Punjabi or Muslim, Pakistani, and, like, the groovy gangs are getting called out again, There's another inquiry. You know, the September 13th is gonna be like this day of reckoning in the UK, where like, yeah, it's gonna be a bloody affair, and I have some of the most unfortunate things to say about this issue, this conflict that is about to unfold before our very eyes. And to that, I have to say, well, number one, you're gonna want to not trust these cops. They're your enemies, and all the laws on the books that are supposed to be there to air quotes protect you embellish these guys, and like it's not even close. It's not even close in the sense that like you can't fight back against them at all in any function. You call the cops, you're gonna get arrested. You try to like, get weapons or whatever, you're gonna get arrested. You say things online, right? Like how I do. Like if I were to make like videos and undo the shit that I'm doing here in Canada, in the United Kingdom, I'm gonna get visited by the cops. I'm going to get arrested most likely after like so many warnings and stuff, right? And even if I go to lengths to like hide my identity, voice change, this and that. Like if they can like pin it back on me, then like you're the. Sorry, I mean I don't like to say this, but the United Kingdom is like one of those things that needs a bloody revolutionary, a bloody one. Like there are people who have to go. There are people who have been siphoning taxpayer dollars, whether they're working in the government, in law enforcement, or otherwise, who've turned a blind eye to this. There are people who work special interest groups who brought in, these refugees, whatever, for these companies, these corporations. They all need to go. And the royal family, everybody, like the parliament, people who are very much involved in this scandal, like Sadiq Khan, like all these people, Keir Starmer, they need to go, and their family needs to go. Like they need to be gone. They need to have an unfortunate, well, fortunate for some, fortunate for the majority. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, and in the case of these politicians, these very corrupt individuals, like they are the very very few. Like they don't speak for anybody, and for the fact that like this conflict has boiled to such a breaking point and stuff, right? Like you had to like take the juxtaposition, right, of these two incidents that happen, right? One at the airport, and then one on the streets where you have like these cops trying to frame basically men of the United Kingdom for talking to a girl who's jogging, or like catcalling her, yelling something at her, or trying to get her attention, or just looking at her. Could you imagine, like a guy, he sees these two girls, and like they're running by him, right? But he's just like nervous. He doesn't even say anything, but he just like stares at them, and then it's like he stares at them, and then like they don't say anything naturally because they're like whatever, right? They're undercover. They're not really like, whatever. And then they jog by him, and he's like he kind of smiles like, oh my god, they looked at me nicely. Oh, I feel so nice about myself. And then like this cop car like rolls up on him, and it's just like, wait, what the fuck? And like we could laugh about it here in Canada, in America, but in the UK, that's a sign that they gotta die, dude. You gotta kill them. You gotta take them out. Something's got to go. So it's either you or them at this point. They're putting your little girls in jail for defending themselves against like crowds of men who are like provoking them, touching them, and then like when they find out that they have weapons, they get them arrested. Like that in and of itself, like that's so fucking evil, right? Like here in Toronto, Canada, right? Like in Brampton, like these Sikhs try the same shit with me, but I'm just not shy about it. Like I'm a guy, so I could just like yell and say like, "Yo, you guys like to fucking rape kids and shit," and you should see how pissed they get because it's true, right? Like it isn't like one of those things where you're saying things that is racist or like offensive. No, it's actually true. Sikhs do rape a lot of kids. Like they like doing that a lot. It's something that they're very proud of. They done it for decades, and for the large part has been gone underreported. Like people will oftentimes like it's the Indians, or it's like what I mean, and they'll throw Hindus in with the shit that the Sikhs do and stuff because of like the Sikhs like that. They like being able to burden the Indians with the blame that they themselves have, created for like pretty much everybody. Like they're saying right now, it's like the Indian truck drivers, this and that. And I'm like, while that might be true, like there's some bad brown like Indian drivers, truck drivers and stuff. Like the majority of them are Sikhs. Majority of them are Sikhs. Punjabis, these fucking retards. Like you can tell by the look in their face, most of them look alike. Although some of them, they're like, whatever, illegitimate families. Like the two brothers who got in that truck accident. Like they don't look anything alike. And they're supposedly like, full on blood brothers. I'm like, no. And like, they're still fighting to keep him in the country. And do you think that's bad? There's just one recent one, right? Out of Ottawa. So this guy hits and kills like a mother and her child. And then he tries to leave the country. Yep. Like they want to come over here, they want to like live forever until like they got to do jail time, and then it's like, no, I don't want to get raped in jail repeatedly. You know what I mean? Because like the thing is with the Sikhs are like they have to buy their women, a lot of them, so when they can't like get that, they're just gonna get raped, and like they're not man enough to like say no, I'm not into guys. I'm not this or that. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're just some fucking retard who comes to this country. You have no fucking education and shit. Like how do you expect to succeed in a country, right? Where you're not like you don't possess more intelligence than people in high school and stuff. Like your high school kid, like even like like some elementary school kids are smarter than these fuckers who are literally driving trucks and shit. And the only reason they're getting these jobs is because Sikhs are giving it to them. And also, like they like exploit their own kind and stuff. They're scum, dude. Like they want to rape kids. They want to exploit their own kind. They want to drive like all these like fancy cars, nice this that, and it's like to compensate for their level of mental retardation. And the rainbow, clan that has like formed from them, right? Like the gays that support them. Oh, we're here for the immigrants. We're here for the refugees. We're here for the Muslim migrants. We're here for this. We're here for that. And they're doing the exact same tactics. Like, isn't it odd that like terrorists and now these trans activists are doing the exact same thing? Like, there's this one, like a bunch of them are trying to go out and like kill Trump or something like that. And you should see the face, like the look on their faces. It's like it's the exact same look as the people who were on that interview with Hassan when he was like talking about his favorite flag, which is that rainbow flag, holding up the AK-47. That one, right? Yeah, that one. Like coming out of Minneapolis. So this guy, right? He's upset that he can't call himself a girl anymore. Okay. You're not a girl, dude. You're too ugly. And like, here's the thing. He's 22. Dog, I remember when I was 22 and I was always pissed off because it's like I would get ID'd everywhere. Everywhere. They would never leave me alone. It's like, you don't look, you're not like 21. You're not 22. I'm like, no, I am. Everybody thinks I'm younger. I am this age. And like, you see this guy, and I think it's what they call like the new generation. Like I forget the specific term for it, but it's like how they look significantly older than they actually are. And like, yeah, like that's not even the worst part. You want to know what the worst part is? This crazy ass motherfucker wanted to kill kids. He wrote it on his gun. He wrote this shit on his gun. He said, for the children, and then ha 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 ha. He wrote the fucking laughing. What do you see? I hate the fucking Joker because unlike the Dark Knight, like this new Joker is just like a touch piece for like fucking mentally deranged people. That like I identify with fucking the Joker in this movie and shit. No wonder Heath Ledger killed himself because it's like, dog, can you imagine all the fucking retards that would be like taking you're the character that you portrayed in a movie and being literal about it, like everything from like the Dark Knight shooter to this, like holy fuck, dude. Like I'm not trying to say like yeah, there are copycat shooters, copycat criminals. There's this one guy who literally calls himself the Joker. Like what the fuck are we even on about? Like why can't people not only like, take personal responsibility for their actions, but also like, understand what they're doing. It's a fucking movie. It's a fucking movie, man. And these fucking people, you want to shoot kids and shit. It takes me back actually to like that scene in Star Wars. Like I think it was like the most unnecessary scene in Star Wars I've ever seen. Like, oh, Anakin Skywalker runs into like this, the place where they're all training the kids and stuff, and then it implies that he kills them and stuff. I was like, okay, what's the point of that? Why not just like have them like die off camera and say the stormtroopers did it instead of Darth Vader, the fucking most badass, whatever. Like it's like that kind of like, oh, I need attention, so but the world doesn't understand me, so I'm gonna kill people's kids and shit type of shit, fucking stuff, man. Like in a perfect world, he would still be alive, so he can go to prison and like fucking get tossed like a fucking bitch salad, man. Fucking rainbow fucking retard and shit. Like there are no trans people. If you're calling yourself a trans person after this point in time, like how much more is it gonna take for you to realize that the world does not need you? You fucking have like what, Chris Chan dressing up as like a fucking girl, rapes his own fucking mom and stuff. Like there's all these other like examples of like similar shit. You have this like gay couple who like adopts these kids and pimps them out online and like fucking does all this fucked up shit. And this is obviously, this isn't the fucking average. This isn't every single gay person there is, but like this movement has to fucking die, dude. It's okay to whatever, right? Your sexual proclivities and stuff. Like it's not my business, and like I don't think anybody cares really if they keep it in their own personal life. But like this nonsense where everybody has to like acknowledge your mental disposition, right? I don't see the point in it anymore. I just don't see like how like we can move like into a new era of like the future, playing these HD games in 4K. Take that, Nintendo Switch 2. You can't get 60 frames on this game. I don't even think you can get like 30. I hear it's like running at 15, and that's Elden Ring. Elden Ring is just like killing the Switch 2. Man. Poor Nintendo fans. Your console has betrayed you. Or they probably just want you to stick to playing like Mario and like very basic games. It's like, oh, too much intelligence for you. Hassan's like chat members don't possess that level of dexterity and stuff. Memory, muscle memory. Just keep it simple. And like, yo, this is like very much the army, the people of Hassan, like the basically the outcasts of life, of society, of mankind. Like you guys are like the extras in movies that like when you're like shooting up bad guys and stuff, it's like you have like a bunch of them like crowding around like a gasoline barrel or like other explosive devices or something, like a bunker, and when it blows up you guys go flying everywhere. Like you guys are like the empty comic relief of just dumb villains, dude, for the sake of being villains. You know what I mean? It's just like, you have these like mental dispositions, you have these like grievances that don't actually matter in the grand scheme of things, and you are trying to call to arms like a war that you're inevitably losing. I mean, September 13th is going to be one hell of a day. The confrontation between the police and the British people, and long time coming. Like I want, like, dude, I'm gonna try to appeal to the humanity of this is most likely a fucking waste of time, but like I'll try it anyway. To the humanity of the police in the United Kingdom, stand down. Don't fucking enforce the law against your people. Get the Keir Starmer and Sadiq Khan the fuck out, and reform your entire country. That's it. It's just that simple. Because how am I supposed to tell you or tell the people of the United Kingdom, like, not to, be concerned about you? You are of concern. Like you don't stand for the people. You don't represent the people, and inevitably you are going to kill people or get people killed, like you have before. Like This is like, like the way what happened to this little girl is going to end with someone losing their life. And before it comes to that, like we have to understand that the source of this problem is the perversion that exists in the minds of these homosexuals, these pedophiles, and they have like links to like the royal family, to like these this individual, that individual. So it has to be pulled out. It has to be rooted out. It's uphill, all the way uphill, all the way uphill, right? Like unlike the Hispanics, unlike Greece, where the population will largely be united with the government. Largely, I don't know. Like I don't know the internal politics, but like there is a huge divide between the people of the United Kingdom and its ruling party, and it has to change. Heads have to roll. Like it wasn't so much that you guys had a Brexit and you left the European Union, and also supposedly like your the moment of change that you were hoping for. It was all a farcical like ploy to further like if the idea of Brexit, one of the primary reasons was to get the illegal migration, specifically from the Middle Eastern countries, under control. Like it failed miserably. Like Brexit was just a show. It was just for show. And as a result, I think more people entered in to the United Kingdom than have left as a result of said Brexit. And the fact that there's still hotels and stuff to this day, it seems so like antithetical to logic. Like the antithesis of progress. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like fuck, you gotta kill. It's unfortunate. Like I don't like to even say those types of things, but it's a necessary thing because it's like uh, men aren't all equal, man. They just aren't. And the men who sacrificed themselves and died for the wars that gave us the freedoms that we so like foolishly fail to grasp or understand, right? Like it's a huge divide. We're not the same. We are not the same as the men who landed on the beaches of Normandy. We are not the same as the men who parachuted like across all these war zones and stuff over every conflict, and like under the night fought like sky, gunfire, anti-air, all that stuff. We're not the same as these people because to us, I think that like, and I'm just gonna use like Israel as an example. I think there's like a large enough portion of us who live in this perpetual bubble of comfort that even if we know that it's all based on a lie and like can only be maintained through the perpetuation of these continuous wars, right? Even though there are those types of people, they are sloth, they are weak, and they are the armies, the rainbow armies, the weak men, the the villains who exist among us. Because the reality of like not mattering and like a world just ignoring them is so like hypercritical of their like insane mania, and therefore they lash out at us, at you, at me, and most likely all these people and their kids.